I think one thing that is on everyone's mind is just AI. I want to understand how is AI really impacting the media world, and is there something that you've been doing at the Atlantic? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, sure. AI is definitely impacting the whole world
Yeah,
and certainly the media world.
yeah,
And with AI comes a whole host of fears. Is our traffic going to go away with Gen AI,
yeah,
and all of the chatbots? What does that mean in terms of the prominence of our brand and actually getting people to us versus us going to
right,
them? The distributed model.
yeah,
Um, a lot of thinking going on. Um, with respect to that. And I think we're at a point where things are going to evolve. We're probably just at the beginning,
right,
right? We have to see how these products, these Gen AI products, are going to hold a place with consumers. And we have to see how consumer behavior changes at scale.
right,
And do we believe that that's going to happen? Probably. Do we believe that's a net negative to the business? Uh, Maybe, but it could also hold a whole host of opportunities. I mean, you
right,
see all of the conversations around partnering with AI companies, et cetera, and I think there are a lot of possibilities there as well.
right,
What could those possibilities look like? From partnering on audio to figuring out sort of Gen AI chatbot partnerships to there's just so much on the table
right.
that you can explore, and I'm sure there's a lot of explorations happening. There's nothing I can concretely talk about right now, but it's certainly something that's important for us to keep our finger on. Now, the other aspect of AI that is absolutely terrifying is the misinformation, the deep fakes, and what that could do when
Yeah,
it comes to content. I
right,
mean, personally, for me, I'm really, really scared because you see some of the things that can be generated in terms of mimicking voice and creating video, and then we now know information travels at the speed of light and sound. It's
yeah.
it's it's crazy, and we know that misinformation has the power to knock down the pillars of uh, any sort of
Currently,
structured society,
yeah,
democracy. Yeah.
yeah,
So that part is really, really scary. And it almost feels like, I don't know, we have a role to play to make sure that we can safeguard our brand, we can highlight independent journalism, and we can bring the best experience to consumers. So there's going to be a little bit of how can we leverage this for um, the positive? How can we leverage the positives, and how can we safeguard against what could happen with Gen AI.
but I do believe that personal touch is personal touch. So, as long as the Atlantic, which is what I'm really excited about, you keep emphasizing on the quality. And I do feel that because I was experimenting with AI, actually
Mhm.
ChatGPT, when it came to just answering, the questions that I was, so say, how do you raise Series A funding? And I just put the link to my podcast to
Mhm.
identify if it was able to answer. But I did think that, it hasn't gone to that level of depth. So you imagine the human level of depth that comes from the Atlantic. So yeah, I think it still has a long way to go.
I really hope so. And I think so too. Ultimately, human curation, human thought, um, there's
Matters.
it to me personally, it's unmatched. But yeah, the scale and the speed of the technology is something that is staggering
Right.
and something that we should keep our eyes on.